Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Kathy's Corner, Seed in the Sand, and this is chapter 10, end of the chapter, big chapter of, it was called Do It Anyway, Be Not Afraid. And what I wanted to talk to you about is just wrapping it all up, just that bridge, that whole idea of building a bridge and not a wall. So what I wanted to talk to you today about was like, how do we build that bridge? What's the process of building a bridge that isn't an actual physical bridge? How do you build that? And I've been thinking about that a lot, and I kind of woke up last night with an idea of like, in Frozen 2, the Disney movie Frozen 2, the two sisters bridge together like the Indian nation and the like established kingdom type thing. They brought the two together. Um, I really liked Frozen 2. I watched that so many times in the past, and I really loved that movie. And I love that idea of that bridge. And so last night when I was thinking about this, I just got up and wrote a little story. And it was a story about my life and my childhood and the bridge that I believe might, who knows? I mean, it's not saying it actually happened, but it's a little children's tale, a little fairy tale, and a little dream. Maybe it's just a dream of mine. But I said, once upon a time, there was a land far, far away, and there was a princess who didn't know she was a princess. Her mother was not, I'm sorry, her father was not kind. He was not loving, nurturing. Um, he was not a loving, nurturing man. Her mother was under her father's total control. She could not talk unless he told her to talk. Her mother also cooked and cleaned and stayed busy all day like a slave. The little girl learned quickly to stay out of the way. Her father would come home from the kingdom wanting peace and quiet. He heard how angry his wife was doing all these chores all day long. She would complain to him and she wanted his help. But he went after the princess. Go help your mother. The place for a woman is in the kitchen, he scolded her. So she went to the kitchen and got scolded there too. Get out of my way. You can't do anything right. So she got out and tried to disappear into the thin air. This went on every day for 15 years. When the princess turned 16 years old, she escaped. She ran away into a fantasy world where she was the queen. She lived there for 40 years in her fantasy land, invisible to the real world. Sorry, can cry. Invisible to the real world. But Queen Kathy, I can't read my writing. She lived there for 40 years in her fantasy land, invisible to the real world. But Queen Kathy, I don't know what that word is. She had two daughters in the real world, polar opposites of each other, as different as could be. They formed a bridge from heaven to earth and allowed souls to cross over free. And they all lived happily ever after. Such a silly story, but it just um when I was thinking of the Frozen 2 story, I thought, that's kind of interesting. The princess has daughters, and eventually that princess turns into a queen, and the queen then has daughters, And they can be that bridge between, you know, beauty and intelligence and kindness and goodness and kindness and goodness and it's just a different artistic and um, free. You're not bound to the rules, if that makes sense. And it just kind of like blends together, and I don't know. I was just thinking about that last night, so it was just kind of a cool little story I thought of, and yeah, it kind of escapes from that Cinderella story, where it's so hard. And somebody left me a message yesterday, a little comment, that their parents made them, you know, um, marry, I believe, into situations that they weren't happy with. And so we all have these Cinderella stories that we can emerge from and we can evolve from. Um, and that is my idea of the bridge. How we can bridge, we awaken. We go from the land of the living where we're going from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck and just, we have our house and we have everything that the American dream was made of. And then we have like autism, high functioning autism. It could be any, you know, thing that hinders us in this world, that keeps us less than. Um, but they're not less than. They're not less than at all. And we just kind of like bridge them together and bring them together and make this beautiful kingdom. I don't know. That's what I was thinking about today. So that's how I wanted to bring this chapter together. And these are the classic tarot cards. And I dropped them on the floor. I pick one for the past, and that's the Hierophant. Beautiful card, nice Major Arcana card. Kind of the king of the religious entities. And the present is the Emperor, which is king of the heavens, in my opinion. Those are some powerful cards right there. And for the future, we have the Hermit. 3 Major Arcana male cards, which is like dominance. Very, very strong cards. Never had that before. So, got the chills. And now, these are the Healing Spirit cards by Gordon Smith. And the intention I'm setting with this card is God. God, what do you want from us? How do you want us to bridge heaven and earth? How can we bridge heaven and earth? Send out help to others. The very first one of the deck. Okay. So it says, so many people do not know how to ask for help or have never even considered asking healing spirits for assistance when they are feeling low. But when it is the easiest thing to do. Simply say, please, Spirit, will you help me? Spirit healers and helpers will soon be in your energy and working to lift you up again. Take a moment each day to feel their healing energy in your life and allow yourself to be balanced and regenerated by the healing balm It is important that you learn to give thanks when you do this practice. If you ask from the heart, it shall be given. So, in closing, I want to thank everybody. It seems like there's, kind of a rise in viewership, and I want to thank whoever's sharing or, um, helping spread this message. I want to thank you, and I hope you like my little story. It's from the guts, and not saying that my parents did anything wrong. It's just when you have 5 kids, that's what you do. You just do that. So, but that's how I felt as a kid. I felt invisible, and I'm awakening. I'm awakening into who I'm supposed to be at this very moment. You're kind of watching my awakening happen through these videos, and I hope that we can do this together. So, all right, everybody have a great day, and we will chat with you tomorrow.